Welcome, everybody. I'm Bryce Koon, and we're starting a new show here. It's called Timeout with your host, Bryce Koon. And we're talking to Berry athletes and everyone affiliated with Berry sports, just about not only what they do sports-wise, but what they do in the Berry community and just about them. And today we're here with Jed Woodward. We want to welcome you on to the first episode. Thanks for coming on, Jed.
Yeah, man, glad to have it.
So it's going to be a fun one as we talk about just how Jed's kind of integrated into the Berry community, track in the field, the sport itself, and just your experiences here at Berry. So first off, give us a little background about you.
Well, Bryce, I'm from Athens, Georgia, born and raised. Go Dogs, you know. I got one brother, mom and dad, got a dog, some cats. You know, I'm just living the dream.
Well, you talked about you grew up in Athens, so you probably were familiar with Berry before you got here. You know, you came to Berry and you're on the track and field team. What kind of got you into your start of, you know, this is something that really interested me and this is what I'm passionate about doing?
Well, I started doing track in middle school, but I did it purely as just something to do. I didn't actually get serious about track until about halfway through my senior year of high school, which I think has worked out pretty well for me so far. But now it's one of the things I love to do.
And what's your favorite thing about track to you? Just
getting to compete. You know, it's like, you know, with a lot of sports that I've played throughout my life, it's all team sports, but this one is like, it's all you. You control what you do, you control the outcomes, and so I just like that aspect of it.
Yeah, the individual aspect of that is huge. I mean, like you said, you control everything, so if you go out there and have a bad performance, you can single-handedly control the next time, the next meet, you take control and you can make it better. So what brought you, as we get to, you know, Berry in aspect, what brought you to Berry?
Football. Football at first. You know, I came here to be on the football team. I actually learned about Berry when I was at a visit to a school that was playing Berry. I was like, I'll send an email to them, see if they want to look at me. They ended up offering me, and I came here in football. And then, you know, I said, maybe I'd like to do track too. And then started doing track, and you know, I just figured, might as well just stay full time with track. And so I decided to go full time with track.
And Coach Severson, your head coach, is a great guy. Obviously, Noah, his son, helps out with a lot as well. And what is one of the things you love about, you know, him being your coach and just kind of learning under him?
He has a very vast knowledge of pretty much everything that has to go on with track. And so just getting to really pick his brain with the different techniques and the different ways to use my body and my leverage throughout the entire throw. And also, he just has a really, you know, you can tell that he really cares about you, and, you know, that he's willing to fight for you if he thinks that you got gypped by some official or anything like that. So that's something I really like.
It kind of stands up for his players and his athletes, and like I said, he's a great guy. Works with FCA here as well. So you've been at Berry for a while now, been a part of the track and field team for a while as well. What could you say, though, your best experience at Berry has been, maybe away from the athletic field?
Best experience probably Berry was probably this past Mountain Day. Past Mountain Day Olympics. You know, we got to have a lot of fun. You know, Mo Field guys, we brought home the banner. You know, something that we wanted to do.
You had an interesting theme as well. What was your theme?
We were 80s bikers, and we were having a rowdy time with it. Man, you know, it was just a good time. We all just got to be guys being dudes, really. You know, and we just got a chance to really go out there and just do what we want to do.
And you had the vest on, I recall, with the jeans, and you were living showing the guns off. It was pretty intimidating as a person that had to participate against you and compete against you. It was pretty intimidating. There's also other aspects of Berry that you have gotten involved in, and campus outreach is a big one of those. Talk about campus outreach and what it is and what it's meant to you.
So campus outreach is it's a college ministry here on campus and throughout a lot of campuses throughout the nation and throughout the world, really. And it's basically just, you know, we're just here to multiply Christ-like leaders through the campus. And that's played a really big part in my life from about the summer after my sophomore year of college to now. You know, I got to go on one of the things that they have is called Summer Beach Project, which is where we go down to Panama City Beach and we get paired up with, usually it's either West Georgia or something like Troy, South Alabama, Samford. But we go down there, we stay down there for 2 months, and we get full-time jobs while we're down there. And so, you know, it's like when we're not working full-time jobs, we're learning about how to share our faith, how to grow in our faith. And, it's like when we're not doing those two things, we're just trying to just soak in as much community as we can and just grow with other people that want to be like Christ and have the same mindset as you. And so it's just a bunch of growth going on, and that's helped me out tremendously throughout my life. And so, so now, I'm part of the leadership team there as well. And it's just been one of the things where I've made great friendships and also just helped me through the highs and the lows of these past couple of years.
Yeah, college can be an interesting time, and you talked about you've grown in that aspect as well, and you've also grown on the track and field team. How do you feel like just being involved? And Berry offers a lot of things where you can be involved in many different things. You can be an athlete, be a part of student government, be a part of different organizations. What do you think about that and being able to say, I can be an athlete, I can be involved? Do you really embrace that, you feel like, as a third and fourth year person?
Yeah, I think, especially for athletes, I think it's really important to get involved early, just because, being an athlete, obviously it's a lot, especially if you're coming in as a freshman, but, being involved in those other things, getting to see there's a life other than sports, because, let's be real, if you're coming in for football in D3, not a very high chance of going to the league, so it's probably a good thing that you're going to get involved, see what you actually really enjoy doing, see what you want to do. And I think that's just huge for young college kids to really have in their lives as they start off their college career.
You say young college kids, and it's because we're older. That makes me feel so old. But you talk about it's really important. I think that's one of the best things that Berry offers. And I tell people when they apply, and especially athletes, like you said, to get involved in other things, because it can be real easy to stay with and have that identity as an athlete. Talking about your role, though, on the track and field team, what exactly do you do? Tell people and viewers that what exactly do you do with track and field?
I throw shot put, hammer, javelin, a little bit of discus. So all of them. I throw all the implements. And, my role on the team is just to compete and get as many points as possible for the team while also being a leader and a role model to the other throwers on the team. I'm pretty sure I'm the only guy senior thrower on this team, so having me play like that, kind of like almost like a dad role, to some of these younger throwers, it's been really cool just to see I've been able to coach as well as be their peer and just get to compete alongside them, get to support them throughout what they do.
Yeah, and it goes a long way, I feel like, with having a guy as a freshman coming in and having a guy like you as a senior kind of show them the ropes. It's a different relationship to have that than it is to have necessarily a coach-player relationship. And that's something that's really awesome. And this is something that's also a fun topic to talk about in today's college sports world, but talk about the life of a student athlete at Berry. You talked a little bit about that with kind of balancing being involved in different things, but what is it like for you being a part of the track and field team, being under Coach Severson? Just how do you balance that life?
Well, so say this is just like a day in March, mid-season. Every day has different practice days because, one of the good things about track is that for the throwers to practice, we don't need to have the sprinters be available. If the throwers can throw when we're available, they can do their stuff when they're available. So it varies different days, but, wake up around 8 o'clock, eat breakfast, go to class, and then probably in between those two, my first class, my second class, go to practice for about an hour and a half, 2 hours. Go to my next class, grab some lunch, see how I'm doing, start to really organize my day. Go to professor's office hours if I need to. Which
is very key.
Very key.
Very key to go to professor's office hours.
Major key. But, do that if I need to, and then we're going to have weights, I know, during the season from 5 to 6 on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So if it's Monday, Wednesday, or Friday, go to weights from 5 to 6. And then after that, just go get some dinner and just get started on homework and whatever I need to do.
I think one of the biggest misconceptions with Division III sports, and we're going to end up talking with a lot of different athletes here, is that, it's D3. It's not that big of a deal, but it's still a full-time job. And I know a lot of people will say, just because it's not Division I and it's not you're at the University of Georgia or University of Alabama, a big school like that, it still requires a lot of work and proper balance of those two different things, of school, life, social, and all that. I know also you're an RA as well, so that requires you to spend time with the guys on your hall as well. Talk about the difference, though, for viewers who might not really know a lot about the sport. What is the difference between, okay, track and field indoor and track and field outdoor in the spring?
Well, biggest difference than indoor is indoor, and outdoor is outside. I say that as a joke, but it really is like such a different thing. Indoor, there's no wind, there's no anything to throw off. If you're pole vaulting, all of a sudden you're outdoors, a big old gust of wind comes, you suddenly get knocked off. Or if you're throwing something, the wind can't affect it. And so that's one thing I kind of like about indoors, but I prefer outdoor. I don't like the shot put for indoors. It's larger in diameter, and it's also rubber, and so I just don't like that. Being picky. And we also throw weight throw indoors, which we don't throw outdoors. Which weight throw is basically just a 35-pound ball with a handle, and we just got to spin around and chuck it.
Yeah, so you like the controlled aspect, the controlled climate to say there in indoor. We talk about for this season, for you personally, what are your goals that you would set out for this year?
Indoor goal, I think, is to beat the old record they used to have. I came close to it last year. Right now it's 13.63 meters. I think my best throw in the indoors last year was 13.45 or 13.5.
You've been bulking up? You've been bulking up for that?
Oh, yeah. I've been on the grind. Then outdoor, my goal is to, ultimately make it to nationals. I hold the record for the outdoor shot, and so my goal is just to keep just making that farther and farther, keep getting to where I need to be in order to make that goal of nationals for the outdoor season.
Now, for the team as well, you talked about what your role was, is to get as many points for the team to compete at a national level. What do you feel like the goal for this team? Is it a young team, or is it an experienced team? How do you feel?
I think it's a really good mix. We have some freshmen coming in, but it wasn't like a huge class. So I think that it's a really good number as far as like not having few seniors for a bunch of freshmen, because that can be really overwhelming. But we have a really good mix of freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, and I think this team, guys and girls, have a big potential to go out and really do some cool things for conference. And get a chance to really get some good PRs, break some records. And if guys came in fourth last year, I'm just looking at who was in front of us and who they lost, I think we can definitely make a top 3 finish, top 2 finish for guys' side. And then girls got, I believe, 6 last year. And so, they didn't, the girls' side, as far as I didn't lose as much, but I definitely think they can at least crack the top 5, top 4.
Yeah, good mix of experience, good mix of young. It usually means good things. You have some good leadership and some younger freshmen, sophomores that can grow up into that role. So now we get to the fun stuff. You ready for this? It's going to be the rapid fire questions to get to know you. All right, so the first question. If you were stranded on an island, I wish I had a little digital timer right here. But if you were stranded on an island and could only bring 3 things, what would those things be?
Bible, my dog, and dog food for my dog.
Wow, this man loves his dog.
Yeah.
Wow. I was really hoping you would say dog food, because if you didn't, then I was like, how are you going to feed the dog?
Yeah. That's the thing. I think I can just hunt something in the island.
Oh.
Or I got the daily bread.
The daily bread. Oh, man, that was beautiful. All right, next question. You're on your way to a meet. What is your go-to pregame meal?
Whatever coach gets us. It's probably granola bars or apples, or if it's, in the middle of the day and I haven't thrown yet, get lunch. 11 times out of 10, it's going to be a turkey sub. And so, turkey sub.
Turkey sub, plain, no mayo,
Get some lettuce
nothing?
on there.
Just turkey and lettuce.
Turkey and lettuce, that's all I need.
That's so dry.
That's all you need.
That is so dry.
you get some water
Golly.
with it.
Yeah, you need some water with that. You might choke on it. Okay, now personally, when I played sports, and I know I did play sports, Jed. I like to listen to some real hype music and be pumped up. When you're on the bus, you're getting ready to throw. What do you listen to that really gets you in the zone? Where the zone they call it, where you don't see anyone else, you don't hear anyone else.
The tunnel vision.
Tunnel vision. What puts you in that mood where you're like, okay, take the headphones out now, let me go?
Really just anything that's calm and real smooth, something to really calm me down.
Smooth jazz? Are you a smooth jazz guy?
No, not quite. I'm like some smooth R&B, something like that. Just some real kind of just like something I can just really vibe to. Because I come like just with me being the competitor that I am in the sports I've done. I come naturally amped. Sometimes I get too amped, and if I get throw too amped, I lose positions, which makes me not throw as far as I want to. So, anything to really just calm me down, so I can something just vibe to, nod my head and just be like, when time to go, just be like, all right, like time to go, just go do what you do.
Yeah, I played intramurals with you, so you're very competitive. And yeah, when you shoot the ball farther than you should, and yeah, I can tell. But yeah, so last question: what is one thing you take away from your experience here at Berry? If you could just take one thing away.
Just the friendships that I've made and the connections that I've made. I've made some lifelong friends here at Berry. Made some lifelong connections, that'll hopefully help me out as I try to, get on the job search and start to move on with life after Berry. And so just those connections and friendships is like, one thing I'd really look back on and say like, yeah, I did that right. Like, I'm really glad that happened.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on the show. Thanks for being the first guest here on Timeout. Once again, I'm Bryce Koon alongside Jed Woodward. We thank you for coming on and telling us about your life, where you grew up kind of, and about track. Because I learned something new, and hopefully everyone else did too today. We want to make sure that you tune in on everywhere, social media. That's for Viking Fusion, vikingfusion.com. On Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, you can go ahead and follow them on all that to get updates on when the next show is going to be. And thank you very much for coming on, Jed. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thank you.